It all started with Grandpa. He owned a sheep ranch in Utah, and there were some pretty bad winters, a couple, 3 or 4 right in a row, where most of the sheep died. And by about the third time that happened to him, he was sick of that. So they picked up and moved to Southern California, opened a floor covering store. My dad continued that on.
I called my dad and said, send me some carpet. I'm going in the carpet business. And people just flooded in. It was amazing when we had more business than we could handle in that one little store. And the business really grew.
We were in charge of replenishing all the carpet remnants, so that was our job. We would roll them out on the floor, re-roll them with the fuzzy side out, stand them up on the walls, and that was kind of our job. I went to college and went into computer engineering. My first main jobs in technology were all with startup companies. In that, I got a lot of different experience in a lot of different areas. The more permanent thing that I had was a company that created and produced mass spectrometers. And then eventually, I became the director of engineering for that company. But what happened was the company went public. There were some dishonest things going on. I just couldn't be part of that kind of a thing. I went from being my dream job to being out of work and kind of went out on my own and started just doing consulting.
When I started going to college, I worked as the warehouse manager, and I was not very good at that. When I started going to school, I was a salesperson, so I learned that part of the business and was a horrible salesperson too. So I went to school in accounting, thought maybe the back office is where I should be. I thought, well, this is something that I can help Dad's business with, because he needed some of that. And I could see a need in a lot of small businesses for, being able to have good controls, good policies and procedures set up in a business, and then be able to produce meaningful and accurate financial statements. Once I got my MBA degree, I had a lot more confidence in being able to really run these businesses. About the same time, Dad decided to sell these stores as franchises. So I worked with him in our franchise business, and I helped the franchises transition to doing their own accounting, because each of the individual stores had to do their own set of books, where before it was all together in one. For me to help them be successful, I needed to get good reports. It was difficult, and this also was part of the impetus for QFloors.
And so they really continued to want to do something different, but didn't know what to do. So 3 or 4 years went by, and they had me come and look at the software.
Oh, I don't know if I wanted software, but Chad said, this is stupid. You need some software. Chad said, this is crazy. Isn't there anything better than the carpet? This is DOS. Don't you have anything better in the carpet industry than this?
So we went back to surfaces again. Basically, it was the same old thing. It was the same story. I was really bothered by maybe the whole day, lack of progress in the industry. And that night, instead of going to bed, I just started having these thoughts come, and I took some paper and a pencil, and all night long I sketched out the 5 main screens of QFloors and how they would all work together. Everybody else was waking up in the morning. I came out and I said, this is what this flooring software should look like and what it needs to do. I just remember locking myself up into the basement of our house and started to go to work on QFloors.
I think when we first conceived of QFloors, we hoped that, maybe if this works with Ogden's, maybe we can sell it outside of our own system here.
We had, built this product, and now we were going to start selling it. And I think that I didn't anticipate just how long it takes to build a business. And by that point, we had already spent our savings kind of building the software. And it got really scary for a little while. And I remember a lot of conversations of, should we keep going?
What I kept telling myself and Trent, I'm like, I think we're helping people. And I know we're not getting rich, and not everybody likes us, but look at this company and this company and this company and this company. And we're really helping them, and we're really making a difference, where before they would have gone out of business.
I remember Dino, who was selling for us at the time, going to a trade show at the end of December, and it had been, I think we got a paycheck in June, and then maybe 2 partial paychecks in 6 months, but not even a full one. So like it was really, really tight. And this was December, and he sold a whole bunch of systems. I think it was 8 or 9. And I remember hearing that and just like crying. I was just so grateful, because that was kind of our lifeline, and it gave us hope. It gave us hope when we were thinking that maybe we were off track.
You know, that's when things started picking up and things were going crazy, because it was word of mouth. Our customers were selling it and people were starting to come on. Other big manufacturers, Shaw and some other buying groups, they could see how we were making a difference. All that was picking up, then 2007 hits.
Our sales went more than 50% less than what they were. It was certainly a dark season for not just us, but for everybody. One of the bright lights, though, in that dark time was most of our customers that had QFloors and that were using QFloors were able to stay in business. In our industry, 25% of the businesses went out of business during that bad recession. People that were using QFloors, we lost only 3% of our businesses using QFloors during that same time.
We were able to weather that storm. Since 2012, we've had great growth.
QFloors has been growing on average about 30% per year over the last 5 years.
We've always had great, loyal employees that have cared about QFloors, that care about our customers. We couldn't do it without them. I mean, it's the best part of our company is our people.
We're not there just to sell a software. We're there to be a partner to help them grow as they help us grow.
Trent contributed the accounting part, and he is an accounting genius. He's the brains behind the accounting, and we were able together to simplify the accounting and make it specific for floor covering dealers so that they didn't have to become accounting experts or have extensive accounting knowledge.
We have the best customers in the world. We really do. We have the best customers anyone could ever ask for to work with.
The customers are an invaluable resource for us because they help us stay on path, stay on course, maybe make a turn when we need to make this product the best it can be for them. Early on when we were struggling, Chad was always just a real stickler for, is that going to help our customer? That was always his question to all of us, on all the employees. And to me, is that going to help our customer? And is that going to be beneficial to them? I thought, wow, this is a different kind of a business, different kind of a CEO, I think. You know, it made me want to work with him and for him, having that kind of an attitude towards, other people.
Whenever we go to a trade show and I have people coming up and giving me hugs and telling me how much better their life is, and I could never do this without QFloors, and this was the best decision I've ever made. And when we see that happening over and over and over again, that's the most rewarding thing to us.
It's making other people and other businesses successful is what we're all about, and I think that defines our success.
If we can make a difference in somebody's life, if we can make it better for them, if we can help them stay competitive and feel good when they go to bed every night about where they're at, I mean, that's what we're excited about.